Dear all, welcome to this momentous event, Class of 2021 graduation. We were hoping that after over a year of living with COVID-19, we would all have a chance to gather in person as a community. Alas, while we, students, staff, and some parents, are lucky to be here at our magnificent school, there is another online event for you, our parents, board members, supporters, alumni, and friends. But let us make the best of it. My name is Jade, and I'm from the United States and Colombia. I am graduating today at a time like no other, together with 116 of my classmates representing 64 countries of the world. We will be sharing some of our experiences and some ups and downs. By the way, did you see those on our graduation imagery? I prefer to interpret them as mountains and hills that are around UWC Dilijan, that we have been climbing, perhaps with variable success. But today, we are all on top. On the way to the summit, we have been helped by everyone here at our great school, and we can't take that for granted. Not only are we lucky to be students at UWC Dilijan, but despite all the challenges we faced, we were able to attend face-to-face lessons with our community all around us. And for this, I am very grateful to UWC Dilijan, Gabriel Ernesto Abad Fernandez, our head, to our fantastic faculty and staff, and to all the people who are working behind the scenes for our benefit. You made it possible for us to be here, on the top.
Been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, and Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fists. And clearly I don't see myself up on that list. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this.
My parents and those of the rest of the class of 2021 had to make tough decisions to allow us to embark on our UWC Dilijan adventure. Like my classmates, I'm grateful to my parents for trusting UWC Dilijan and letting us be here. I know it was especially difficult after the pandemic had started and so much was uncertain. But here we are. We all made it. And our parents did too. So please, let me introduce Dr. Nozipo Maraire, Tuli's mom, to say a few words on behalf of the parents. Dr. Nozipo is an acclaimed Zimbabwean-born neurosurgeon, writer, and entrepreneur. She lived and worked in the United States for 30 years and returned to Zimbabwe in 2012 to open her own neurosurgery practice and help improve Africa's healthcare and economy. Dr. Nozipo is a UWC Atlantic alumna and knows all too well what we are up to here from her own experience. She received her undergraduate degree from Harvard University, postgraduate degree from Columbia University, and neurosurgery training at Yale. Dr. Nozipo, welcome. Can you see me? Good morning. I would like to thank Gabriel Ernesto Fernandez, the UWCD Parent Council, and the UWCD community, the board, the staff, alumni, friends, teachers, and above all you, our students. Our children, and our hope for the future. Thank you for inviting me to say a few words on behalf of the graduating class of 2021. Jonas Salk said, a good parent gives their children two things: roots to know where home is, and wings to fly away. 2 years ago, with our hearts in our hands and quite a bit of trepidation, we let you fly away. You landed here at UWC Dilijan. I know there have been joys, friendships formed. There have been moments of clarity and personal triumph. But what we didn't know was that there would be earthquakes of anxiety and fear. We did not know that there would be turbulence, that there would be tsunamis, there would be blackouts, breakdowns, breakups. We didn't know that some of you would be crushed by the avalanche of expectations and deadlines. We also could not have known that many of you would flounder in the floods of uncertainty. There was war with its inevitable degradation and destruction, where both the victor and the vanquished are losers. We could not have seen COVID-19, a world suddenly caught unawares, so much loss, so much turmoil. But you survived. How did you do it? It reminds me of a poem by Dinos Christianopoulos, who says, "They tried to bury us. They did not know we were seeds." And what is a seed? It's hope in a shell. So whether your shell is the tall zima or the tiny tule, know that you carry within you our hopes and dreams. You carry within you our hopes that you will see things differently, that you will do things differently, and in so doing, you will leave the earth better for having sojourned there. There's a great African proverb. It says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. It's Ubuntu. I am because you are. We are connected, we are one. A recent Canadian ecologist, Suzanne Simram, has just discovered Ubuntu in the wild. Forests communicate by using radioactive carbon in the roots of plants. We know that when a plant or tree is in distress, all the other trees take their own nutrients and they funnel it to the tree in distress, whether it's the same species or not. The strong to the weak, the old to the young. There is strength in our togetherness. There's resilience in your community. Ubuntu. And now, as your wings are once again poised, your fearless wings to fly away, I hope that you will stay rooted in the oft-quoted and much-aligned UWC philosophy of international understanding and tolerance for one another. I hope you will stay rooted in integrity, compassion, and a sense of purpose. I speak for all the parents and the UWCD Parent Council, many of whom could not be here today. We are so proud of you. And I hope that you go not fast, but far. Thank you, congratulations, you've earned it. Thank you. Thank you so very much. As parents, when this epidemic unfolded, we were fearful. We felt helpless. We were far away. We watched as Gabriel and his amazing staff did something that was a logistical nightmare. Candidly, taking care of 16 to 18-year-olds would have probably been a logistical nightmare in and of itself. However, in a pandemic, they had to get 200 students from 85 different countries transported, tested, quarantined, and then back to some semblance of normalcy. We expected a headmaster with some acumen in administrative logistics. That's part of the job description. But what we got as parents instead was a leader, an extraordinary leader for an extraordinary time. As parents, we felt we wanted to give this special award, a one-time award, to Gabriel, Abel, and Ernesto Fernandez for his extraordinary leadership during the pandemic. Thank you for taking care of the thing that we have that can't be replaced, the most precious thing we have, which is all of you. Thank you, Gabriel.
Those of you here know me, but allow me to introduce myself to those of you watching the ceremony online. My name is Gabriel Ernesto Abad Fernandez, and I have the privilege and the honor of leading UWC Diligen. Thank you, Dr. Nosipo, for your kind words. We share your sentiments and appreciate the feeling. Today we have a lot to celebrate, perhaps with more reasons than under normal circumstances. The UWC Diligen community has demonstrated a resilience that can only be allocated to the work of students, staff, alumni, supporters, parents, donors, friends. I believe that our community is stronger today than it's ever been. In March 2020, we organized a very quick graduation for a class of 2020. Before we had to send you, class of 2021, back home. But then, we didn't know whether we'd be able to welcome you, all of you, some of you, any of you. We are very grateful that the parents, with no little support from you, no little pushing, continue to trust the school and decided to allow you to come back to Armenia, to Diligen. So thank you to you students and to the families for your continued trust in the college. UWC Diligen class of 2021, together with our stellar faculty and staff, I've had the privilege, the responsibility of living and learning with you. The logo for our graduation symbolizes a line with the ups and downs, and we can all see our own ups and downs over the last 2 years. A time like no other in history, not just our own personal history, the history of our community, the history of Armenia, our host country, but the history of humankind. Umberto Eco, the Italian sage, once wrote, "The university exchange program Erasmus is barely mentioned in the business section of newspapers. Yet Erasmus has created the first generation of Europeans. The Erasmus idea should be compulsory, not just for students, but also for taxi drivers, plumbers, for any workers, for everyone. I mean, they need to spend time in other countries with the European Union, and that way Europe will be born." One could argue that UWC took the idea from Erasmus and did it on a global scale, but the truth is that the Erasmus program started in 1987. UWCD UWC started doing that 25 years before, in 1962. I was a beneficiary of the Erasmus program myself, and I read with interest the Erasmus Impact Study, which discovered, allow me to quote some figures, 40% of the Erasmus students went on to live and work abroad. 33% of them ended up with a life partner of a different nationality. I am guilty of both charges. I do wonder how many of the couples amongst you will fit in that category, including those of you who will connect at a later point in your lives. I do believe that there are many sociological PhD dissertations needed to be written about the impact of the UWC experience on the life of young people. In some cases, I suspect that some members of our community would provide materials for more than 1 or 2 or 3 dissertations. You know who I'm talking about. An education based on UWC values is more needed today than ever. As the pendulum of history swings back, fighting against a globalization that was totally focused on the priority of profit, something else is needed. Class of 2021, we need you. We need you as the world turns to populism and nationalism, as we continue to squander our limited natural resources, as more and more importance is placed on image rather than on substance. We need you to turn bridges across peoples, nations, and cultures, like you've been doing over your time here. We need you to keep reminding us of all the values that we profess as a community, that we share more in a common humankind that actually separates us. The UWC education model is based on the experience of the individual, not because we don't value books or the science lab, which we do, but rather because we know that if there's no intimate personal experience, the human development is stunted. You have bright futures ahead of you, with layers of uncertainty and possibility more complexity than previous generations, but you're equipped with a resilience that will allow you to face the uncertainty and the complexity. And all of that comes from your personal experiences here, the best possible educator. Thank you for your passion, thank you for your commitment, and thank you for leaving your comfort zones to come to be part of this community. We can't wait to see what you will achieve. Thank you. Allow me now a special word of thanks to our board. Our school is a non-profit entity with a volunteer board leading us through thick and thin. Veronica Sonaven, our co-founder and chair, will be addressing us shortly. But before that, I need to share with you that under Veronica's leadership, the board did everything possible to ensure that UWC Dilijan would be ready for any eventuality, and we had plenty of those this year. For us, we are very, very thankful, and this is our sincere gratitude for their support. As a philanthropic endeavor of the founders, Ruben Bardanian and Veronica Sonaven, who set a goal to create a center of educational excellence here in Dilijan, UWC Dilijan has succeeded. Over the pandemic, we've copper-fastened our reputation as a place where the duty of care takes primacy over anything else. My deepest gratitude to all of our supporters. You have enabled many opportunities for living and learning for our wonderful young people here. I am confident that they will make us proud when they proceed on the journey in life, and that they will continue with the circle of giving as exemplified by Ruben and Veronica. Let me now surprise you with a little treat and give the floor to Dalia Atala, a class of 2018 graduate with a very special message.
Dearest Veronica and Ruben, I'm recording this video to share with you some life updates, but most of all, to simply thank you. I was recently admitted to a competitive master's program, the dual master's degree in international affairs between Columbia University School of International and Public Affairs and Sciences Po Paris School of International Affairs. And I would like to profoundly thank you from the very depth of my heart. Words will never be enough to express to you my deepest gratitude. If it weren't for your constant generosity, for UWC Dilijan, I would not be here today. You have changed my life forever, and I will eternally be grateful to you, to Armenia, and to the UWC movement. Thank you so much for helping me make my dreams come true. Thank you so much for believing in me. Thank you from the very depth of my heart and my soul. I will continue working the hardest that I can so that I am able to one day continue the cycle of giving that you have so powerfully and meaningfully initiated. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your giving and for your support. Thank you for being such exceptional human beings, always working to make the world a better place. Thank you for continuously inspiring me. Thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love and so much positive energy from Lebanon.
What can I say after that? Thank you to Ruben and Veronica from all of us. I am so pleased to see Dalia acknowledging with such passion the opportunity she received for a UWC education and to change her life. She's obviously determined to live up to the UWC mission and values. Let us now please welcome Veronica Sonaven, UWC Dilijan co-founder and chair of the board.
It's hard to speak after Dalia, that's true. She has a lot of talents and she's future TV star or movie star for sure. Yeah, it's hard to believe that time flies and there's 7th graduation. And I'm very glad that we're able to be here and in person. Last year it was impossible. This year, a lot of things have happened, so it was extraordinary. And from pandemic, then the war, then earthquake, political instability, anything else? So seems that we have to be resilient and adapt ourselves to live in the new world. And all these challenges at the same time made us understand and value simple things that we had pro bono before, just meaningful personal interaction and relationships. And I'm glad that UWC Dilijan is the place where people get it, being students, being teachers, being other staff members, being the board members, and all this possible thanks to great leadership of Gabriel and of the leadership team and of you being able and wishing to work and live together and support each other. I want only a few words to evoke the words of the great friend of UWC, Didijan, a personal friend, great human being whom we unfortunately lost last month, Vartan Gregorian, who was a great scholar, educator, leader, humanitarian, and simply a great Armenian who crossed cultures easily because of his open and endless curiosity. And that is one of the most important things that we all should keep for long, our curiosity. In 2006, Vartan gave her commencement address at Stanford, and I am taking liberty to quote their closing words, as I believe that's a very good message to graduating class. The world around us is full of Russia's chatter and noise. Amid all this cacophony, it's hard to see ourselves as part of a larger whole, a continuing eternal harmony, that music of the spheres that the ancients thought we would hear only in our inner ear. Well, today I would like to remind you and your connection to history. Try to listen with your inner ears to those who went before you, parents, grandparents, great-great-parents, and on, who all wanted to be good ancestors to you. As a historian, educator, and a fellow student, I feel bound to remind you that the time has come for you to return the favor. You have to learn to be good ancestors to the future. Thank you. Please remember this.
The sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in sight. It's not raining, everybody's in the plane. And don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Yeah. Running down the avenue, see how the sun shines brightly on the city. In the streets where once was speeding yesterday. Time's living here today. Yeah. Miss up the sky, tell us why you had to hide away so long. Where did we go wrong? Miss up the sky, tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? to the human race. Celebration, Mr. Blue Skies up the way. And today is the day we've waited for. Oh, Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go? Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue, you did it right, but soon comes Mr. Night, creeping off, now his hand is on your shoulder. Never mind, I'll remember you this, I'll remember you this way. Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go?
As we are on the verge of becoming alumni, I would like to recall the story of Sandro Chumashvili, who graduated last year and whom our class all knows. Last summer, Sandro was already back home in Georgia when he heard that Armenian hospitals were overloaded and struggling to keep up with the number of patients infected with COVID-19. He decided to help. He started a petition urging the Georgian government to help Armenia, and help they did. As a result, Sandro showed through his action that it is possible for any of us to make an impact. Having been a student here, he cared for Armenia enough to take action. And Gabriel showed appreciation of Sandro's efforts by giving Sandro the first Alumni in Action Award. This year, thinking of Sandro and his deed, UWC Dilijan decided to announce the Alumni in Action Awards, a recognition by UWC Dilijan of the important contributions that alumni are making in their own communities to the UWC movement and the life of UWCD. With 8 nominations, the awardee was selected by a committee including Gabriel and representatives of the staff, students, alumni, and parents. And it is my pleasure to introduce Jeppe Strands, a 2018 graduate who received the 2021 Alumni in Action Award just last week. Jeppe is from Denmark, and straight after graduating from UWC Dilijan, he decided to stay in Armenia to learn more about the country he got to know and love while here. Jeppe established a social and rural development NGO running 4 different educational projects for children in the Tsagkung and Artanish villages not far from here, with 12 volunteers over the span of 2 years. He is active in the Global Shapers Hub Dilijan as a member of the Global Shapers Community, an initiative of the World Economic Forum. While still helping local villages' development initiatives, Jeppe is currently working in an innovation ecosystem in Yerevan. Jeppe truly embodies the UWC spirit. I now invite Gabriel to present the Alumni in Action Award to Sandro. It could not be done last year due to the pandemic. And Jeppe. Jeppe, 2021 Alumni in Action awardee, will say a few words. Please give Jeppe a warm welcome.
Bare včas, Borolin. One sec. Bare. Hey. This is it. You're done. You're graduating. I'm the third generation. This is the seventh, so it feels very big to be here. I could say a lot about how the UWC experience meant to me, but honestly, I think that's kind of more of a reflection that you need to do. Instead, I'm going to be talking about a thing that we're constantly told that I think can be amazing if you understand it correctly, but quite dangerous if you misunderstand it. First of all I'm going to say is that the previous speeches were just amazing. And I think a lot of it highlights the collaborative elements, and specifically what Gabriel has done and the whole staff and leadership team. Because UWC is a dangerous cocktail. It's 200 young adults who at the same time have the highest self-confidence they've ever had, but the lowest self-esteem on earth. And that can lead to a lot of interesting conversations, but understand why. This is a prestigious changemaker school for changemakers. But luckily the graduating class is now done. You don't need to perform anymore. Because you've graduated, you are now officially a changemaker. But that's wrong. And I think it's actually quite dangerous to think that way. Because we are constantly told in the world that we can do anything that we want. We're limitless. If we just work hard, study hard, are passionate, we can achieve anything. And that's kind of like saying that there's nothing in the world that defines you rather than your actions. And it's like we're always told that we constantly need to change ourselves and we need to reinvent ourselves rather than understand the forces that have created us. Comes back to the root, come back to the wings. And it basically means, like, think about this. You were born in a random time, in a random place, to a random family, with random friends. You probably found out about UWC in a pretty random way. So how are you expected to suddenly come here and be responsible for making all the changes around here? And even though it's a big responsibility to do, but it's also kind of uncomfortable to hear that, not many people like to hear at least, that you're not really responsible so much for creating who you are. It's way more the relationships that we have that are defining us. Like, even though I want to do something, where I'm from and who I'm with, in the end is the thing that creates my personality. And I think what I want you to learn, what I want you to remember from this speech, is that even though it's your name that's on your graduation paper, it's not only your hard work and dedication that got you here, it's the people that you were with, and it's where you come from, it's your family, it's your friends. And moving on, you're going to a new place. Like in Dilijan, you can make all the mistakes, like you can make many mistakes and you'll still be fine. But you're leaving, and you're going to be alone now. And you're not going to be in the playground anymore, so it's very important to understand that so many things have given you opportunities in Dilijan, and the world will still continue giving, but you can't change anything yourself. And I think you've got an insight for these 2 years, how powerful an idea is, how powerful uniting with a common goal, how big that can be. Like, you can't change so much yourself, like you can decide what you eat for dinner, but if you know the ideals of how the world should look like, which I think you've gotten a quite unique insight into here in UWC Dilijan, you can go and meet the people who don't understand the power of ideas, and you can help, you can assist, and you can try and see, like, kind of, not show them how it's done, but you know what I mean. So, you're probably not a change maker. You can't make change by yourself, but you can 100% inspire ideas, and you can unite people to achieve it. So I congratulate you very much for graduating. It's very nice to see all these young faces. And I give you best of luck in keeping those ideas that can change the world.
When Ruben Vardanyan and Veronica Zonovan, the UWC Dilijan co-founders, had a dream of establishing an international school in Armenia that would open Armenia to the world and the world to Armenia through education, their dream was deemed audacious. One of the families who have been there from the start are Nubar and Ana Afeyan. They are both board members and founding patrons of the school. And as it happens, Dr. Nubar Afeyan has been at the forefront of finding solutions to COVID-19. Dr. Afeyan is one of the co-founders of Moderna, a company I'm pretty sure we've all heard about as we anxiously await our turn to be vaccinated against COVID-19. It is simply amazing what Dr. Afeyan and Moderna, which is located in Boston, have achieved scientifically and most importantly, by giving people hope. I would like to study medicine and hope to have the chance to emulate what doctors and scientists like Dr. Afeyan have been doing to tackle the global pandemic. I look forward very much to learning more about Dr. Afeyan's work and hearing the advice he might have for us, the 2021 graduating class. Dr. Afeyan chose the school surroundings, which he knows very well, as the background for his virtual appearance, so he is practically here. Please welcome Dr. Nubar Afeyan.
Hi. On behalf of my Swedish wife, Anna, who's a proud member of the board of UWC Dilijan, and myself, a Lebanese-born, Canadian-raised, Armenian living in America, I'm, of course, very happy to be virtually with you and in such an international gathering. Let me start with warm greetings all the way from Boston to today's graduates, as well as to all the students of UWC Dilijan, parents, teachers, staff, administration, our devoted board chair, Veronica, and our wonderful school head, Gabriel. Good morning, and thank you for inviting me to take part in these ceremonies. To the 2021 graduates, this is your moment, a moment that marks the culmination of years of hard work, a moment that is a portal to your unwritten future and to new possibilities. Your commencement comes during the largest global pandemic in 100 years. Yours will forever be a special class, not only because you're all special as individuals who journeyed here from so many countries to share these formative experiences and education, but because you have endured 2 years filled with the challenges of living with a pandemic, as well as experiencing a nearby conflict and the resulting suffering. I'm sure what you experienced will shape you, the way you see the world, and the way you will work to make the world better. Beyond your own experiences, let me also acknowledge the response to the crisis by everyone surrounding you, the school, the staff, helpers, and the whole community, showing resilience beyond anyone's imagination and expectation. To have the beautiful school, an oasis of learning and teaching, safely continue face-to-face studies during the pandemic is a great achievement and makes all of us very proud. Let me say a few words about your newly adopted second home country, Armenia. Armenia is a 3,500-year-old country, which is today trying to reshape its future. You could never be too old to reshape your future. I hope that having experienced the country and having had exposure to its people, you will always remain Armenians by choice, as we like to call it, ABC. We hope that UWC Dilijan opens Armenia to the world through you, and that you, our graduates, will now contribute to opening the world to Armenia. Armenia, at its critical point in its recent history, desperately needs friends, ambassadors like yourselves, who understand it and can help build its future. In a short period of time, all of us have found ourselves in a new reality. The COVID-19 virus knows no borders, no boundaries. It has challenged our immune system. It has challenged our healthcare system, our societies, including governments, the world economy, and so much more has been brought to its knees. What is otherwise a natural battle between two life forms has caused massive casualties in the human one and revealed our weaknesses and inequalities. Fortunately, this crisis has also brought out some of our best as humans, whether it's through the frontline health workers or public health leaders or inventive biomedical scientists. We are banding together to fight back. Let me share with you briefly the experience I've lived throughout the last year and a half in one aspect of this, and that is the development of the first COVID-19 mRNA vaccine by Moderna, a company that I helped co-found some 10 years ago. Last January, just 2 days after we knew the genetic sequence of the novel coronavirus, we had the design of our vaccine. And just 42 days later, we delivered the first doses to the NIH, the National Institutes of Health in the United States, and it was tested by them. The first Moderna shot went into a volunteer's arm in Seattle on March 16, 2020. We tested the vaccine with a diverse group of 30,000 volunteers, and 9 months later, the FDA authorized our vaccine for emergency use. Just 3 days after that, the first Moderna vaccines were administered to frontline health workers. As of today, a few months later, more than 250 million doses of mRNA vaccines have been administered in the US, and our distribution is expanding in many countries around the world. And now, with emergency authorization from the World Health Organization and a new partnership with COVAX, the international body charged with distributing vaccine, especially to low and middle-income countries, we will soon begin sending 500 million doses to the world's lowest income countries. When we founded Moderna in 2010, many doubted that messenger RNA could be turned into medicine, but we imagined a future in which that was possible. Over 10 years, we figured out how to make that future a reality. How does this relate to you? Before you leave UWC, please consider taking along with you a few last lessons. The development of these vaccines and their rapid deployment demonstrate what's possible when we, as humans, imagine new realities, innovate with urgency, and move beyond conventional wisdom. And beyond giving rise to the vaccine, the pandemic has also given all of us an opportunity to be pioneers. And that's something that allows us to do things that have never been done before. So my message to you graduates is much the same. You too can imagine the future you want and pioneer your way to that new possibility for yourself and for the world. So graduates, let this past year affirm your capacity for innovation in the face of the unknown. You are all now experienced pioneers, thanks to the past 2 years. Now use that experience, harness your education to imagine the impossible, and be the kind of pioneer who relentlessly pursues a better world. Thank you, and good luck to all of you.
Bayavdes, I'm Elena from Malta.
And I'm Neela from Australia and Germany.
No matter how much attention we paid to counting down the days, we never thought the day itself would arrive. But here we are, undoubtedly a sad day. And that is good, because it means that you have impacted our lives. The experience was not all clear seas. Some parts were stormy, with the water pouring into the boat faster than we could get it out, such as when a war was on our doorstep, traumatizing the country that hosts us, causing hurt and grief to all of our peers. When our governments closed borders and we were not able to see friends and family back home. When academics got harder than we thought we could deal with, and countless other challenges that have been thrown our way. But there was always someone either in the same boat or someone who was willing to help out. And so, together, we stood strong and proved ourselves capable of dealing with these situations.
That is the beauty of this community. A community which welcomed us enthusiastically and with open arms from day one. Half of this community is now moving on. However, we rest assured that you, the class of 2021, although you won't be here with us physically, the lessons you have taught us and the traditions you passed on will continue to shape this vibrant community.
You helped us realize that the UWC community is not just a mission statement, but a living commitment to each other and to the world, forged by the relationships that we have built in our time living here.
UWC founder Kurt Hahn said, "There is more to us than we know. If we can be made to see it, then perhaps for the rest of our lives we will be unwilling to settle for less." This year has truly shown us so many new things about ourselves and those around us. We have challenged ourselves and each other to try new experiences and surprised ourselves with the things we have been proven capable of and the resilience we have shown. UWC has shown us a new standard for acceptance, open-mindedness, kindness, and helpfulness, and challenged us to live up to it every single day that we have been here. This is something that we will continue to spread out in the world after our time here, and it is something that our second years take with them as they leave today. As Kurt Hahn said, "Now that you have experienced it, you will forever be unwilling to settle for any less. And no matter what corner of the world you go to, you take with you this diversity and these shared experiences, along with the obligation to spread this movement further."
To our dear second years, you have taught us more than you will ever know, and we are so grateful for all of you. You welcomed us with open arms and made Dilijan our home. You have been there for us at our highest of highs and our lowest of lows, and we hope that we have done the same for you. You have set an extremely high standard for how second years should be, and we will try our best to live up to it next year when we get our own first years and pass on the same guidance, love, and humor you gave to us. You have been our rocks this year, and I speak for all of us in my generation when I say that we cannot imagine our time here without you, and that the thought of you not being here next year saddens us more than we can try to put into words. Despite this, your time has come to an end, and while we will miss you incredibly much, we wish you all the best of luck from the bottom of our hearts, and we are so grateful to have had this special time with you. From the strangers with nameless faces that we met at the airport, to the people we vaguely began to recognize around residences, to acquaintances we began to look forward to sharing a meal with, to friends we couldn't go a day without seeing, and before we knew it, we became family. A family we are so proud to be a part of, and one which we will never forget.
Our year has been unorthodox, to say the least. We have lived through a global pandemic and a war, and have been challenged in ways that we could not even imagine. We have shown empathy in those situations where we could relate, and sympathy in the situations where we couldn't. I've seen people wordlessly get up in class and walk over to comfort a person who is not from their country, their continent, or even their friend group. I've seen people work tirelessly to master a dance from a completely different culture for regional evening and show the same dedication as if it were their own. We have laughed together and we have cried together, and I know here I have found a friends and a family for life, even as half of them move on today.
The fact that we were able to have any of these experiences during this school year is testimony to the amazing, dedicated, and time-intensive work done by our administration staff to ensure that we have been able to have this experience. Organizing visas, residence permits, flights, quarantine, and making arrangements for students from over 80 different countries and with over 80 different requirements is no small task. And we are so appreciative of the work, time, and effort you have spent on this. You never gave up on us, no matter how impossible and overwhelming the situation must have seemed. It is thanks to you that we were able to have this experience at all.
We are also forever grateful to the staff whose work often goes unnoticed, but without whom we would not be able to function here. So much goes into making this school run smoothly, and I want to say thank you from all of us to everyone who contributes to this, to the maintenance staff and the lifeguards, the cafeteria staff who tirelessly prepare 3 meals for us every single day, and of course all the staff in the medical center. And finally, the teachers who have taught us their subjects with passion and gone above and beyond their jobs to offer us support both inside and outside of the classroom. In a year where we could have missed so much, we have had the privilege to make the best of the situation and have such an amazing experience, despite, or maybe even thanks to the circumstances. There is no use comparing the year that we have had to the one that we could have had, because if this entire UWC community has taught us anything, then it is that just because something is different does not mean it is worth any less.
I can see it in your eyes that you are restless. The time has come for you to leave. It's so hard to let you go, but in this life I know you have to be who you were made to be. As you step out on the road, I'll say a prayer, so that in my heart you always will be there. This is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again, so let your life begin, 'cause this is not goodbye. It's just I love you to take with you until you're home again. Stirring in your soul has left you wondering, should you stay or turn around? Well, just remember that your dreams, they are a promise, that you were made to change the world. So don't let fear stop you now, 'cause this is not goodbye. I know we'll meet again,
good afternoon. Dear graduating class, thank you for inviting us for this great honor. We are truly humbled to stand up here and speak to you today. On behalf of all the staff who have been involved in your lives over the past 2 years, even though we know each other well, we would like to introduce ourselves to the other guests who join us today. I am Rangika Bandaranaike.
And I'm Diniti Bandaranaike, and we are from Sri Lanka. Dear friends and family who join us in this special occasion, in person here in Dilijan and from home virtually, we welcome you to this great occasion. Thank you for all the support and for being with us today at the special occasion of our lovely graduating class.
We draw upon the wisdom of Nelson Mandela, our former UWC honorary president. What counts in life is not a mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the essence of life we lead. The difference we have made to the lives of others, to our families, to our friends, to any stranger we have met, define who we are.
Dear graduating class, our journey together started in August 2019 when the world was absolutely normal. Life as a UWC student or even as a member of this community is an opportunity, is a unique lesson, and is challenging. But none of us ever expected your journey at UWC Dilijan to be this challenging. As this extraordinary time, we all needed each other's support even more. As we go back to the 2 amazing years, we have seen you laugh together, cry together, try to bring a small smile when your friend is sad. At times, you were hyper-organized. At times, you felt completely lost. At times, you were sure about your future, but sometimes you started to question everything. You all have made a difference in each other's lives. That is the most important thing. And we should never forget the key to our learning community, learning at UWC Dilijan. Small chats, big talks, friendly arguments, at times heated, which gives us great learning.
As staff, we feel humbled to play an instrumental role in supporting and facilitating the young adults you are today. You have given us an opportunity to support you as well as to learn from you. Every moment at UWC Dilijan is a learning experience for all of us. Dear class of 2021, thank you for being a helpful, wonderful, and matured cohort at UWC Dilijan. During these hard times, you have been a great role model for your first years.
As you go forward to continue the work, whatever ways you find a meaning, a possibility, a hope, please remember that UWC Dilijan is always your community, your home, and it is what it is because of you. Today is the beginning of the next step of your life as a UWC Dilijan member. Now it is your opportunity to go to the larger world and share and explore what you have experienced here with us. Now is your opportunity to start creating a positive impact on the lives of others who are in need. This is imperative because not everyone has had this privilege to join UWC Dilijan, to be a part of UWC Dilijan. But everyone will benefit from your ideals for which UWC stands for. And in fact, that is our responsibility as members of this community.
Please remember, we are here to support you and to share in your challenges and in your successes. Wherever you are, we know that you will show us what it means to live in this universe. With integrity, with conviction, with compassion, with empathy and care. We know you will, because you already have.
This is not a goodbye. Dilijan is your home forever. Home is always open for you. Thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. This song that Joe and I are singing might be one that you recognize from a musical called Hamilton. In the musical, this is two fathers serenading their children. But with a few tweaks, we thought it could be very appropriate for teachers to sing to their students. DP to students, what to say to you? You made it through, you graduate today. When you had to leave last year, you cried, and it broke our hearts. We've dedicated every day to you. This campus life was never quite so tough, it was rough. You couldn't go out and have fun, wasn't like when it begun. But you have shown great strength and dedication. You made it through the mess, found friends and happiness. Dilijan will be a strong foundation. But now it's time to go, show the world what you know. You'll blow us all away someday, someday.
Pride is not the word I'm looking for.
Thank you so much, Maud and Joe. Maud is my English teacher, by the way. Shout out to you. Hello, everyone. My name is Anna.
And my name is Zach.
So, in today's first ever and probably last Saturday briefing, Zach and I want to ask all of you one question. How do we end? How does one properly conclude these two wildly unexpected and eventful years? How does one summarize all of the triumphs, all of the sorrows, and all of the in-betweens of a journey which has seen us travel from all over the world to assemble in our beloved, calm, homey riverside and mountainside? With people whose alarm clocks we will soon despise. For the past few months, the question of how we end has confronted all of us here. Do we end with the best workout of our lifetime, dancing the Tzachazori over and over again? Well, that's probably exactly how we will go. But ultimately, we ask ourselves these questions out of a desire to truly understand what it is we have. Because we all know that once we leave, we are never going to have this again. It is our gratitude for these people, for this place, and for the passion that defines this community that makes us ponder, how do we appreciate this experience in its entirety? For us, the class of 2021, we need not look far for answers, because just over a year ago, in March of 2020, we were asking ourselves the same questions.
When we endured a trial which brought out both the most excruciating of pains and the most intense of joys, we all asked ourselves, how do we say goodbye? How do we walk away from it all? The benefit in our case being, we didn't have much of a choice. We all had to grow up fast, and we all had to adapt. And yet, even in those moments, what we realized quickly was that even as we were boarding those buses, even as we embraced our friends as they were departing, we realized that many of the things that we hold dear here, our ideas, our relationships, our memories, are things that carry on well far and beyond the confines of this campus. And so more than just defining ourselves as the class of COVID-19, another thing that we should probably be thinking about is, are we really trying to end?
In a contemporary online project called The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, compiled by the literary artist John Coing, there exists a word used to describe the tendency to give up on trying to describe a sensation because you know that only other people who have experienced it with you will ever be able to appreciate it. They call it exulansis. To us, it encompasses our thoughts whenever somebody, our family or our friends from our countries, asks us that one question: what is UWC? And so a lot of times we find ourselves at a loss for words, trying to articulate to every aspect of our lives here in a way that does it justice. However, it usually ends up something like this. Oh, well, it's this collection of boarding schools called United World College that has 18 campuses all around the world, one being in Armenia, with people from over 80 nationalities. It's pretty cool. Although the scripted response eases people into the, quite frankly, exceptional concept, at the same time, appreciation means never giving up on trying to portray and share it. Precisely because if we do appreciate this idea of a more united world for a peace and a sustainable future, UWC cannot be something for only a few people to enjoy in each of one of our campuses. Rather, it is something for everyone to own and create together.
Moving forward into the future, we need to acknowledge that in the world as we know it today, we are probably never going to be in a setting even remotely close to the one we are in now. We will never again share the intimacy of living with one another in the residences. We may never again have this environment where the world has converged in the way that we here have. However, it is precisely the fact that as we move on to the next stage of our lives, we need to work towards creating a world in which our UWC lives are not some faraway dream, but is instead accessible to people all over the world. Let the light that this place emits not blind us to the reality of the world, but instead guide us toward our vision of humanization over polarization.
And so, as we gather here today on the verge of our 2 years here at UWC Dilijan, we remember when we first arrived. We were trying to appreciate what it is that we had in our hands. We were trying to comprehend how we could possibly balance the infamous triangle of sleep, social, and study. But then later found out that it was kind of a myth and that UWC is so much more. It is staying up in a common room to immerse yourself in an unlikely conversation with someone halfway across the world about what the odds are you both ended up here together. What is our purpose and where do we go from here? And a whole host of unanswered questions. We are finally getting to live out what we described in our selection weekends.
In the evacuation, we recall trying to appreciate what we were going to lose. And from that appreciation, we gained a newfound gratitude for what we would have moving forward into our second year. And as we are confronted with the challenge of doing that once more, of being resilient in the face of utter uncertainty, we cannot let our UWC lives be limited to these 2 years. Because if during this time we were appreciating the idea of a United World College, moving forward, we need to appreciate our philosophy through actively creating a more united world. And so, instead of asking ourselves now, how do we end? Class of 2021, the greater question we must ask ourselves is the same one we asked when we first drove through that tunnel leading into Dilijan and set foot onto this campus for the first time. How do we begin?
And before we end, I just want everyone to sit here and just appreciate yourself, be proud of yourself, because congratulations everyone, we made it.
And now, for the moment my co-years and I have been dreading yet awaiting since day one, it's time to welcome our Toon parents on stage to begin the gift-giving part of the ceremony. Please give a warm welcome to Stefan, Toon parent of Achstev.
Okay. Please join me in welcoming on stage Kylie from Canada. Cecilia from Brazil and Germany. Aurora from Italy and Albania. Queenie from China. Anahit from Armenia. Kate from the Netherlands. Lilith from Armenia. Rachel from Taiwan. Adrissa from India and Kuwait. Palina from Ukraine. Tanya from Russia. And Tina from Norway. They are followed by the boys. And we start with Brahim from Norway and Nigeria. Juan from Venezuela. David from Armenia. Shintaro from Japan. Zima from Belarus. And Sam from UK and Spain. Zach from the Philippines. Meher from Armenia. And last but absolutely not least, Sambhav from Nepal.
Next, please welcome Asniv, tune parent of Arpa.
Please welcome Dasha from Russia. Lily from Armenia. Mariam from Georgia. Tenzin from Bhutan. Mara from Oman and India. Nayab from Pakistan. Kardi from Lebanon and Armenia. Anna from Germany and Spain. Sona from Armenia. From China. Yalte from Denmark. Ernest from Belgium. Armen from Canada. Kani from Somaliland. Emmanuel from Zambia. Edgar from Armenia. Darius from Germany. Hashim from Jordan. And Andre from North Macedonia.
Next, please welcome Nada, tune parent of Debed.
It is my great pleasure and privilege to introduce William from El Salvador. Ignas from Lithuania. Thomas from Canada. Michael from Ireland. from Malaysia. Timur from Russia. Kesang from Bhutan. Ani from Armenia. Lily from UK. Ale from Russia. Tuli from Zimbabwe and United States of America. Sveva from Italy. Mariam from Georgia. Pinar from Turkey. And again, Pinar from Turkey. Deidre from United States of America. Mira from Germany and United States of America. Anna from Colombia. Eleonora from Italy. Frida from Mexico. Dima from Lebanon. Alva from Sweden.
Next, please welcome Rangike, tune parent of Lalvar.
Please welcome Hong from Thailand. Prisia from Japan. Betty from Estonia. Nini from Georgia. Nastya from Russia. Sorry, my fault. Nandani from India. Nandani from India. Ani from Armenia. Mariam from Armenia. Amine from Russia. Please welcome Remy from France. Abdul from Burkina Faso. Emilio from Mexico. Jabir from Bangladesh. Ferdinand from Norway. Ankit from Nepal. James from South Sudan and Uganda. Matthias from Chile. Karan from Russia.
Next, please welcome my tune parent and tune parent of Maime, Armine.
And now it's time to welcome Maimech. Let's welcome Maimech. Shehzad from Bangladesh. Axel from Turkey. Armen, Georgia, Armenia. Karim, Lebanon. Eduardo, Bolivia. Sardar, Iraq. Juan, Spain.
Albany, Canada. Adelina, Russia. Arine, Mariam, Margarita, Armenia. Yasmin and Noor, Lebanon.
Mention also we have someone from our tune, Yuandre, who isn't here to graduate with us, but we still want to honor her. Last but not least, please welcome Carolina, tune parent of Vardanis.
Hey, last but not least, Vardanis. Please, let's welcome Eran from Albania. Gok from Armenia. Sogomon, Syria, Armenia. Shahruz, Tajikistan. Rafi from Yemen. Slowly but surely, Jaap from the Netherlands. Jeff from Taiwan. And Chao Fan from China. Please welcome Lily from Armenia. Marlene from Burundi. Belén from Argentina. Mariana from Portugal. sorry, Valeria from Peru. Now Jay from Syria. C from the USA. And even if she's not Saha, who is actually on her way to Mauritius.
Dear friends, our graduation ceremony is coming to an end. But as Anna and Zach said, it is a beginning for us, which is exciting and daunting at the same time. There is a quotation which is used in a few variations that I would like to reflect on. From what I discovered, it has been attributed to a few people, including Albert Einstein. It is along the following lines. Education is what is left when you have forgotten all you have learned. Having just gone through some very excruciating IB exams, I do hope that I won't forget everything I've learned here. But I think that what that means is that what I've learned are not simple facts covered in textbooks, but a whole range of skills and behaviors that will dictate the choices I will be making in my life as I continue my post-UWC Dilijan journey. And for me, it means valuing the very essence of what our UWC education is about, accepting each other for what we are, trying hard to understand our differences and to celebrate them for a common good. It also means valuing you, my friends, and all those who have been on this journey with me. Class of 2021, congratulations.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh. Tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 'cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. You can count on me 'cause I can count on you.
And now, the traditional Armenian circle dance that we usually perform as a community at the very end. Since we can't do it this year, here are the best submissions we received in the run-up to the event as a symbol of the wonderful lifetime connections we've made here. And class of 2021, congratulations!